If you stop paying attention to AI after ChatGPT 4, get ready for the battle of a tech giant chatbot. The fighters are getting ready, and here they come in the left corner, sporting red, green, blue, and yellow. The reigning and defending heavyweight superstar from OpenAI's ChatGPT to the French Mistral, the giant with a hand in every pie. Introducing Microsoft! In the right corner, the former champion, trailblazer of AI, displaced by ChatGPT but not left in the dust. Will they regain their footing? It's Google Gemini! In the top corner, coming down from the rafters, the underdog you didn't see coming, entering the ring at the 11th hour. Amazon throws in its hat with Anthropic's Claude. And what's this? The heel, playing dirty from outside the ring. They're giving out free tickets, and oh my god, they've got a chair with open source written on it. It's Facebook, Meta's Llama 3. This is the latest to claim to rival ChatGPT 4 for free. Can their fighting words match up with reality? Let's get ready to rumble! Let's start with Llama 3's defining feature. It's open source.
Excuse me, what does that actually mean? And also, could you please turn it down? There's some people next door trying to work. Almost all of the leading AI companies, from OpenAI to Google, only allow you to access their models when they're running on their servers in the cloud. We've done a video last week about what cloud versus local AI means if you're curious, but essentially, a closed source model is a black box that you're not able to influence outside of the context that the company developing the AI decides to give you. So for example, for ChatGPT, you have an API that restricts what you're allowed to ask it or how many questions you're allowed to ask. You can't run them on your own machine, so you have to pay the company to run them for you. So it's all about the cost, right? Well, the cost is a large factor, but it's also that for developers, there's no way to modify these softwares or contribute to them. But these are large companies spending, billions of dollars developing these models. What good could some random lone developer do? Well, that's fair enough, but despite their size, a tech giant can't develop or optimize for every feature at once. There is room for smaller teams to optimize for a market, for example, that's not worth it on Microsoft scale, but is still worth it for a small business.
And don't just take it from me, take it from Google.
You can always develop something amazing with a small team from the outside. You're always susceptible to someone in a garage with a better idea.
Oh, do you have an example? Okay, let's take this example. Say you're an open source developer specialized in, let's say, Chinese language or creating realistic characters that you can chat with. You can't really build a new AI from those closed source models. You'd have to do a lot of effort. And if you have to start from scratch, well, that's billions of dollars. And presumably that's where open source comes in. Well, with Llama or open source models, that developer could, and has, for example, developed that Chinese language one. And there's been whole companies that have popped up from open source models to create characters that you can chat with. Since 2023, Llama has been optimized by teams from prestigious labs from all around the world. That's Stanford and other research universities. That gives Meta a huge leg up because they're not paying for that research, but they're reaping the benefits.
While all the other AI companies are looking for knockouts and charging good money for the privilege of using their chatbots, Meta's just throwing out its model in the ring for free.
Especially since today, if you go to meta.ai, you're able to run Llama 3 online for free. It's giving you lots of features from generating images as you type them in and being a relatively competent chatbot. It's not the best of the best, but it's pretty dang close.
Wait.
That makes no sense at all. It sounds like a really advanced application. Why are they just giving this AI out? Is it some small project for them? Oh no, they are extremely expensive to train. Llama 3 uses 7 times more training data than Llama 2. It's being trained on almost 50,000 high-end GPUs. It's a significant cost, even for Meta. Not to mention that AI engineers command pretty high salaries. That's a lot of money. So is Meta planning on making that money back by reaping the benefits of the open source model like they did with that Stanford team? Or are they just being generous? Meta is definitely happy to be perceived as the good guy for once, but given the costs, it's unlikely that it's truly worth it for them to keep this model out in the public just for PR. So why are they doing it? Some have speculated that having the Llama models out there for people to run means less traffic to other paid AI services. Huh? What do you mean by that? That means that they'd be slowing down OpenAI or Google by limiting the amount of users they'd be having. Though I'm not sure if that's really significant enough to be their main motivation for making it public. Wait, why do you think that? To continue the boxing metaphor, playing for the sidelines, you can catch a few cheap punches, but you also put yourself at risk. There's a reason that all these big companies are keeping their model closed source. Open source advancements benefit the creators of an open source model the most, for example, Meta or Mistral, but engineers at OpenAI or Google can actually use similar advancements that were discovered in open source model in their closed source model without having the risks that come with open sourcing a model and having it be in full control of your users. Oh, I see. So what's so special about Llama 3 then? Like, I've never used anything more than ChatGPT. Am I going to use a model like Llama 3 anytime soon? That's a very good question. You're actually quite likely to use Llama 3 at some point soon. If you use WhatsApp, Messenger, or Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Facebook, has announced that Llama was going to be integrated into services going forward. So from image generators in WhatsApp that create GIFs, to chatbot functions in Messenger, to other kinds. Okay, those features sound interesting, but they also sound super expensive. Will I have to subscribe to get access to them? So far, they're not requiring a subscription, and even if they did, it's unclear and unlikely that would pay back for the cost of developing and deploying these AI. I'm not complaining too much, but it's clearly not sustainable. Apart from the fact that it's running inside of these apps, is there any reason that Llama 3 is particularly interesting? The fact that they're releasing another open source model and not going closed source for this Llama 3 at this point shows how much competition there is in this space. What do you mean? Is there that much competition? Well, if you've not been paying close attention, there's been a story every couple of weeks or so from some new company that's claiming to be the new king of AI. So you've had Mistral, the French AI company that came out of nowhere last year, taking Meta's open source crown during the summer. Anthropic now has a model that's competing with the top of the pack, out of nowhere, basically. And Google Gemini is there. I mean, it's powerful, don't get me wrong, but more importantly, it's got Google's products behind it. Oh, you mean things like Google Search or Google Docs, right? Search is a huge part of it, but they also have shopping, enterprise communication software, email, all services that could benefit from a powerful AI assistant in the future, and deeper integrations. That's not even talking about Apple's potential AI that's been rumored for a couple of months, but we've not seen much AI from them just yet. They do have a habit of coming into a market late and disrupting it. I guess you'll just have to be subscribed to follow along in June when we'll be covering the WWDC. For the time being, Meta is playing scrappy on the sidelines and is definitely spending a lot of money doing it. Llama 3 marks the return of Meta's AI models to the top of the pack. So let's put on our viewing glasses to witness, well, the fight of the scrappy AI players. Both Mistral and Meta just released new models this week, and I, for one, am looking forward to see which one is going to come out on top in the coming weeks. If you're interested in a deeper dive on how technically Llama 3 is different from Llama 2, let me know in the comments. Until then, from TechAsia, I'll stop generating. Take care.